My name is Carol Barnett, and I'm a composer from Minnesota. I'd like to tell you about my piece, My People Are Rising, that I wrote in 2017. This work was jointly commissioned by Elektra Women's Choir, Canzona Women's Ensemble, and Peninsula Women's Chorus. I first heard the text for My People Are Rising on a BBC podcast, and I was so taken with it that I stopped the podcast and replayed that segment several times so that I could write it down. When I researched the author, I found that she was a Syrian-American poet, writer, and also a professor of comparative literature at the University of Arkansas in Fayetteville. When I contacted her, I got an immediate response, which cheered me up. And she said that she was delighted that I was interested in the poem, but that the poem was maybe 4 times as long as the segment that I had heard. She sent me the whole thing, and I decided that I wasn't really conversant enough with the Arabic culture to set that whole poem the way it should be set, but I decided to go exploring into enough Arabic culture that would help me to set the text in a way that was respectful of that culture and that expressed the feelings behind it. She wrote the poem in March of 2011 when the Syrian uprising had just started, and there was still hope that after 40 years or so of government oppression and hopelessness, actually, there would be a chance for a democratic or at least a less repressive form of government. So in March of 2011, there was an incident where a couple of boys wrote anti-government slogans on a wall and were taken in by the secret police and tortured. And in response, the people rose up and made their displeasure and anger known. The government responded by shooting a lot of them. And it has gone from bad to worse since then. We see certainly no cessation, and things get worse and worse. Moja's poem captures the excitement of the initial uprising and the hopefulness. Here is part of it. My people are rising, my people are rising, with olive branches in song they are waking. The earth underneath their marching is shaking. My people are rising. They are no longer crouching. They are no longer stooping, and they are not hungry for bread alone. I see them mustering unarmed, Kurd and Assyrian and Arab and Qajar. Bless them. Christian and Alawite and Druze. Bless them. Sunni, Shia, and Ismailiya. Bless them. Tribe and tent and house and clan. Bless them. Everyone together is uprising. This piece begins with a violin solo that introduces the Middle Eastern flavor of harmonic language that I'm using. When I first thought of what kind of music would best put this text across, I started looking into Arabic music, and in Arabic music there are scales that are not tempered like our Western scales are 12 equal semitones. There are quarter tones in there, and I asked Morna about that, and she said probably not. So the Arabic quarter tone scales got a little bit tempered, closer to our Western ears, and that meant augmented seconds, but those are easier to sing than quarter tones. Because of that, I thought that we would be happier with a supporting instrument, and I thought of the violin because that does appear in Arabic traditional music as well. After the introduction, we have a rhythmic section accompanied by Doombeck. Lively, but not harmonic. It is variations on a single line of melody, decorated by ornaments tossed back and forth between the voices. The violin always helps them, so we've got 3 different strands going on at the same time. This climaxes in a emotional cry of, the earth is big enough for all of us, let us have a little bit of it too. And then winds slowly down as the poet thinks of the young people who were slaughtered during those first days of the uprising, when really things were still hopeful, but they were beginning to realize that it might be a little longer before they achieved their goals. If you'd like more information on this piece, please go to carolbarnett.net or contact me by email at carol@carolbarnett.net.
Amen.